Hi, this is Second Story Garage. I'm Quentin Young here with Brandon Decker. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you, Quentin?
Very well, thank you. Brandon brought his band with him, Decker, to play with us. Thank you. You're kind of on the tail end of a tour, a 7-week tour.
Correct.
Is that correct? And so give us some stories from the road.
Well, we left for San Diego on March 4th, and here we are. What's today?
Today is April 15th,
April 15th, and in between we've been a lot of places. We've had some attrition of members, but
you
we've
lost
survived.
a drummer.
Lost a drummer.
He's not dead, I don't think.
He's dead to me.
Okay.
What
happened?
Guitar
there?
players. Oh gosh, we don't even have time. You said
that?
this was a 4-minute interview. But it's been a great trip. You know, we've had some great shows in great cities. It was our first time getting out to New York City, and we had a good show out there.
Where'd you play out in New York?
Rockwood Music Hall on the Lower East Side.
Cool. Well, let me just ask, what happens when you lose members on the... How do you adjust? How do you...
You know, there's a lot of people I kind of cycle, because I played probably 160 shows a year for about 5 or 6 years, so I play with a lot of people all the time, because I can't have really regular members with how often I'm out.
Yeah.
Although we do have some regular members. So we just ship some in.
Uh-huh. That's good. So you just came out with a new album, Patsy.
Right.
Came out in February, I think.
Yes.
And you played the title track for us, Patsy, today. And it's inspired and kind of about Lee Harvey Oswald. Tell me what's behind that. Is there some kind of fascination with...
I mean, there is a mild fascination with the scenario. You know, I mean, it's such a epic moment in American folklore and history. I decided I was going to make this album called Patsy before I'd written the song Patsy. And as it was coming together and we were recording it, I was like, I must do a song about Lee Harvey Oswald. I mean, because the
so
idea...
you knew you wanted to write about Patsy, like the idea of a Patsy?
Yeah, I mean, and it was certainly, like, the imagery was tied to Lee Harvey Oswald, you know, right off the bat, you know, like... So it just seemed natural. So one night I sat and I read about him for probably 5-6 hours, and the song just really happened really organically.
Did you feel like you had preconceptions about Oswald that were changed? Did you change your feelings about that event? And
no, I don't know if I had ever thought of him as a personality as much as I had as the whole picture of the event. So I didn't have really preconceived notions. I never felt like he was, you know, the lone gunman or anything like that. The shocking thing that I felt, that I realized after reading about him, was that I identified with certain things, you know, like. But I guess that's what the song's about.
Well, it's interesting because I was reading your lyrics as you were playing. Actually,
right.
I found them online, and you do. They're written from maybe you could almost call it the sympathetic perspective.
Right. I'm not certainly sympathetic to anyone killing JFK, you know. But I mean, like, I think sympathetic. I think
but
a lot of
there's some empathy.
Right.
Empathy there.
You know, a lot of what the record's about is how all of our lives, as individuals, are kind of reactive, whether we are from the Kennedy side and, you know, more this aristocratic background, or whether we're, you know, less fortunate. I mean, no matter what, we're kind of set in this world to eke out our existence, you know. And for some people, for whatever sets of circumstances, however fortunate or misfortunate, things can get ugly sometimes, you know. And you know, I think a lot of people... circumstances lend towards how far off they get, you know, and certainly I would imagine a guy like him, you know, ended up involved in a event like that because of what his certain circumstances were.
Mm-hmm. Reading about you a lot, you're kind of a songwriter. You get a lot of attention for the craft of songwriting. And you're from Arizona, and you live out in the desert, and I wondered how that colors what you write. How does that environment kind of seep into your music?
Well, I think you they say your body cells regenerate every 7 years, and so you're almost like a fully new person every 7 years. And I've been in Arizona, the longest I've ever lived anywhere, since 2004, and I've been in, for that matter, in Sedona for 6.5 years. So I kind of feel like it's become my new place. I was actually born in Denver and lived there till I was about 8.
So in other words, your whole body is like
I
half a year away
Arizona,
from being fully
Sedona. Yeah. I have you ever been to Sedona?
No.
It is this. It's like Mars. It's this big, expansive red rocks. Big canyons. It's a lot like Moab or something like that. And I don't think there's any way that doesn't impact who I am as an individual and who I am as an artist.
It's got your music has kind of an eerie quality.
Yeah, like kind of eerie and open.
And I associate that with.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm projecting that onto your music because
everyone
I know where
seems
you're from.
to feel that way. I feel that way too. I said to a buddy recently, he was kind of asking me about it too, and I was like, well, there's no way you're going to listen to our album and be like, that's Chicago. I think it does. I mean, the feel is in there of kind of that airy expanse.
By the way, you were born in Englewood.
Born in Englewood, yeah.
And you left when you were 8.
What was it? Swedish Hospital.
I
don't know if that's still around.
Okay. Do you have any memories of growing up in Colorado?
Oh, yeah. A lot of my family has roots here, and I have just nothing but fond memories. Going up to Estes Park as a kid, and riding horses in Rocky Mountain National Forest, down in Englewood, if you take the I-25 down to like Colorado Springs, now it's a lot different because there's so much, population out there. But I very vividly remember just the foothills as storms were coming in over them, and looking at the mountains with the gray skies over these big rolling golden hills. And I considered myself a Coloradan for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Well, welcome back.
Thank you. It's always good to be back.
And thanks for coming by the
Thanks
garage.
for having us. We had
really
a good time today.
Appreciated you playing some songs for us. And come back. Do you plan on coming back?
Oh, yeah.
Later this year?
We're here as often as possible. Probably 3-4 visits a year. We'll actually be back in May for a festival in Buena Vista.
Oh, great. Okay. We'll look for that. Well, thanks a lot. This is Second Story Garage. Thanks for watching.